Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you guys have the text? Matthew the 14th chapter? Amen. Okay, so I'm going to begin reading from verse 24. You can follow along with me. I believe it's on the screen. Amen. Okay, it says, "But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is the Spirit. And they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer. It is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And Jesus said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? And when they were come into the ship, the wind ceased. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying of a truth, Thou art the Son of God. As you take your seats this morning, I want you to look at somebody and tell them, get out the boat.
Get out the boat.
Get out the boat. Get out the boat. You can have your seats. And that is the title of your message this morning. It is called, Get Out the Boat. Now, in every story, there are three parts to a story. You have the characters, the setting, and the plot. Now, the characters are the main people that are in the story, or the main person that's in the story. The setting is the place where the story takes place, and the plot is the main event or sequence of events in a story. Now, in our Bible story today, our main character is Peter. Peter and Jesus the Christ. Our setting takes place in a boat on the Sea of Galilee. And the plot or the main event of our story is a man walked on water. Now, I can imagine back in the day that this was one of the most talked about, one of the most epic events ever talked about during that particular time. I can imagine that the news of a man walking on water probably spread faster than wildfire. Why? Because it is impossible for men to walk on water. Scientists say that it is impossible for humans to walk on water because the human body is too big. Humans, even babies, are so big that the force of gravity overcomes the so-called surface tension of water, which results in sinking. But Peter, our main character in our story today, he was able to defy the law of science. He was able to go beyond the natural and do the supernatural. He was able to do the impossible. He was able to do the unexpected. He became a living, moving, breathing demonstration of the scripture that says, miracles, signs, and wonders shall follow them that believe. Now, I know, like Pastor said this morning, that we have gotten away from doing the churchy stuff. But is it all right if we act a little churchy in here this morning? Do y'all mind going with me this morning? I said, do y'all mind going with me this morning? I'm sorry, I just got to be myself because for a long time I held back. But I'm going to be myself this morning. Is that all right? All right, so I believe we've got some believers in here. So if you are a believer, why don't you testify to somebody that's sitting by you and tell them, say, I am a believer. Tell somebody else, say, I am a believer. Now, since we are all believers in here, since we just confessed that means that there should be an ongoing demonstration of signs, miracles, and wonders following us. Why? Because we say we are believers. Amen? At least that's what the text says, right? The text said that if you are a believer, these things shall follow you, right? So since we are believers, signs, miracles, and wonders should follow us. But there may be somebody in here today that is saying, well, you know what? Yes, I'm a believer, preacher, but I don't have any signs manifesting in my life. I don't have many miracles breaking out in my life. I don't have many wonderful things taking place in my life. Well, if that's you today, if you are in that particular boat, well, I'm glad you're here, because the story that we just read this morning is going to give us a complete outline, a complete script, a complete blueprint of how we can get out the boat. Anybody ready to get out the boat this morning? Now, when I say boat, I'm not talking about a vessel that travels on water. But when I say boat, I'm talking about your situation. I'm talking about the circumstance that you have been in for however long you may have been in it. I'm talking about your economic situation. I'm talking about your career situation. I'm talking about your relationship situation. That's the boat that I'm talking about, because the boat here, we're not talking about a ship, but we're talking about something that represents our comfort zone. Anybody ready to get out the boat called comfort zone this morning? I'm talking about the boat that represents, again, what we've been in for however long we've been in. Now, in order for us to get out the boat, this text tells us how to do so. And the first thing that needs to happen is we first have got to have what's called a paradigm shift in our mind. Now, I know some of you have probably heard that term before, and you still may not know what it means, but that's all right. I'm going to explain it today. And I'm going to explain it using the analogy of a computer. And I'm going to compare how a computer works to the way our brain and our mind works. Is that all right? Y'all going to go with me this morning? All right, so a computer has two main parts. And I know you may say, well, how's that possible? It's got more than two parts. Well, it's got two main categories of parts. A computer has what is called hardware, and a computer also has what's called software. And the combination of the two is what makes the computer work. Now, the hardware are the physical components to the computer. For example, it could be considered the mouse or the monitor, the motherboard, the hard disk drive. So all of the physical elements of that computer, that is considered the hard drive. Now, as good as all that may be, the hard drive can't do anything without the what? The software. Okay, and so the software is what's considered all of the collection of data that makes the computer function. So, for example, the operating system, that's part of the software. The applications that you download or install onto the computer, all of that is software. The programs that you install on the computer to make it run, all of that is considered software. Okay? So the combination of the hardware and the software is what makes the computer work. The brain and the mind functions the same way. The brain represents the hardware. So the brain is the actual physical vessel inside of our head that's considered the hardware, okay? But the mind is what's considered the software of the brain, because without the mind, the brain will not function. Without the mind, you're considered brain dead. Without the mind, you're considered a vegetable. It's the mind. The mind is what makes the brain work, and every other part of the bodily function. It's the mind that makes all of that work. Are you with me this morning? And so the mind is made up of what's called the conscious and the subconscious. And without those two elements together, there's no mind. So the mind is what's considered the software. And so the mind and the brain working together is how the body functions. That's how a person operates. Amen? Now, over time, every individual develops what is called a mindset or a mentality. Mindset, mentality, same thing. And a mindset is a fixed mental attitude or disposition that predetermines a person's responses interpretations of situations, or a particular way of thinking. I'll say that again. A mindset or a mentality is a fixed mental attitude, a disposition that predetermines a person's responses to an interpretation of situations or a particular way of thinking. So it's like this. If you know what type of mindset a person has, you can almost predict how that person is going to respond to certain things because you know what type of mindset they have. For example, a person that has a poverty mentality or a poverty mindset, they will look at a product, and no matter how valuable that product may be, no matter how much value that product may add to their life, no matter how good that product may be, a person with a poverty mentality will look at that product and say, you know what, it's too much, I can't afford it. A person with a mentality mindset will always, with a poverty mindset, will always have their hand out, looking for somebody to give them something. A person with a poverty mentality will always say things like, the white man is keeping me back, or the white man is holding me down, or I can't get a job because of my level of education, or I can't advance, I can only work minimum wage. That's a person with a poverty mentality. That's the mindset that they have. But a person with a prosperity mindset or a wealthy mindset, even if they don't have the money, we're not talking about assets. We're not talking about a person that has money in a bank account, but we're just talking about someone that has a wealthy mindset, a way of thinking. They'll look at that same product, and even though it may be out of their budget, even though they may not have the money for it, they'll say, how can I get that? Or what kind of creative idea can I come up with to generate money so that I can get this, because I know that if I obtain this, this will add value to my life. You see the difference? So that's the mindset. That's the difference between a poverty mindset and a prosperity mindset. Now that was real basic, but I just wanted to throw that out there to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Now a mindset can be developed over time by many different ways. We develop our mindsets based on the relationships that we have with our family, because that's a person's first interaction. When a baby is born into this world and the parents or the family take them home, their first level of human interaction is with their family. So depending on how that whole situation was, that will create a certain mindset in that child. Y'all following me? Yes. Amen. Y'all follow me? Where the church at this morning? Yes. All right, just want to make sure y'all still there listening. A mindset can also be developed by culture. Yeah. If you look at certain cultures, and I know that I'm not trying to stereotype or throw everybody into the same boat, but if you just on the outside look at the surface, certain cultures have a certain mindset. Yeah. Amen? Mindsets can also be developed by education. Yeah. Okay? People that have a college degree versus someone that didn't even finish high school may have a certain mindset, a different type of mindset. A person that didn't finish school may feel like it don't take all of that. They may feel like education is not that important. But somebody that went on to get a higher level of degrees, they may value education a lot more, because those two individuals have two different mindsets based on the level of education they have. Mindsets can also be developed by our personal experience, the things that we go through, the things that we encounter along our journey in life. Helps us to become the people that we are. It helps us to develop the type of mindset that we have. The way you think, it didn't just happen to you. It developed over time based on your experiences and all these things that we're talking about today. Mindsets are also created by our spiritual beliefs. Yeah. People that were brought up in a religious environment have a totally different mindset from people that were not brought up in a religious environment. Okay? People that were brought up in a loving, nurturing home have a different mindset from people that were raised by drug dealers and criminals. Yeah. Okay? So all of these things factor into the type of mindset we develop over time. Now, getting back to our story. Peter, we know Peter had to have a certain mindset because he was in a boat with other fishermen. So we can safely assume that all these people that were in that boat had the same mindset. They had similarities. They had certain things in common. Why? Because there's an old adage that says birds of a feather flock together. So all the people in that boat, they were able to share some things in common. And we can safely probably say that one of Peter's mindsets was that he understood people could not walk on water. Okay? Because he's a fisherman. So he's been around water probably all his life, or probably a large majority of his life. So he understands the law of science when it comes to humans stepping into water. He understands that scientifically it's impossible for people to walk on water. But in order for Peter to defy science and do what was considered impossible, evidently he had to have a change in his mind. Because his first mind probably would have looked at the water and said, I can't do that. Even though I see something that looks like Jesus doing it, his first mind, because of the way he was brought up and because of his education as a fisherman, his first mind probably told him, I can't do this, and that's the ghost out there. Y'all following me? So he had to totally shift the way he thought in order to build up enough faith and courage to walk on the water. So the first thing that we need to do if we want to get out the boat, regardless of what your boat may be today, the first thing that needs to happen is there has to be a change in your mindset. Look at somebody and tell them, change your mind.
Change your mind.
Change your mind. Now let's talk to ourselves. Say, self, change your mind. Change your mind. Because some of us are still in the same boat that we've been in because of our mentality, because of our mindset. And I know this may not be popular this morning, but if you really open up and receive this word today and evaluate your mindset, you will see how your mindset has probably held you back from going further in the things that God wants to take you to. But I encourage you this morning to change your mind. The Bible says that we need to be transformed by the renewing of our what? Our mind. And that word is not talking about our brain, but it's talking about our mindset. It's talking about the way we think. It's talking about the way we interpret things, the way we receive things, the way we conceive things in our mind. It's talking about changing that. Because if we don't change that, then we'll stay in the boat. Because we'll always follow our first mind, which says we can't do it. We'll always follow our first mind that says, oh, it's too difficult for you. We'll always follow the first mind that says, oh, I don't have enough education. I don't have enough training. I don't have enough money. That's what our first mind will tell us. But when you have that paradigm shift and you begin to take on the mind that was the mind of Christ, when you begin to take on the mind that says, you know what, I am rich because my Father is rich. He says the cattle on 1,000 hills belong to him. And since I am an heir, meaning that I am his child, I have access to what my Father has access to. Can you say amen, somebody? So the first needs to be a change in our mind. Now, after that, the Bible lets us know that after Peter, well, before he stepped out on water, he looked and he had a quick conversation with Jesus. And he said, Lord, if it's you, tell me to come. So, in essence, what happened right there was a prayer. He prayed and he asked the Lord for direction. And I know culturally we like to think of prayer as this big, deep, supernatural experience where we got to drop down to our knees and put our hands together and close our eyes and do a chant and get into some out-of-body experience and pray. No, praying is just a conversation with the Lord. So we speak to him and then he speaks back to us. And so Peter literally had a moment of prayer with the Lord. He said, Lord, if it's you, bid me to come. So the next thing we need to do after we deal with our mindset and we get all of that change and transform, which by the way is a daily process. It's not going to happen overnight because the mindset that you develop did not happen overnight. It started from when you were in the womb. And the seeds that were planted in you helped to create the way you are today. Okay? So it's going to take a daily effort to transform your mind. But after you get through that process, then we need to learn how to pray and seek the Lord for direction. Well, somebody may be saying, well, that's simple. And I do pray. Yeah, you may pray, but have you heard from the Lord? My Lord. Or are you just down there complaining? Or are you just going to God with a list instead of being silent and allowing Him to speak? Because He will speak. And so some of us are still in the same boat because, yeah, we may be praying, but have we really heard from God? Or are we being led by our emotions? And I know emotions are important. You know, emotions are how we navigate through this natural realm. But we have to remember that we are supposed to walk after the Spirit and not after the flesh. So we have to learn how to shut the emotions down. And we have to learn how to walk in the Spirit. And we have to learn how to hear God in the Spirit, okay? Now, I'm not going to go into how you know if you're hearing from God. That's another lesson for another day. Maybe we'll have a Bible study on that again one day, because that's something that we have talked about, or that can be something that you and your personal studies can pursue. But we have to make sure that when we are praying and seeking God for guidance, that we do allow opportunity for Him to speak. And then when we hear from God, we need to move. We need to take action immediately. Notice what Peter did. Peter didn't waste any time. Peter said, Lord, if that's you, bid me to come. And what did he do? Immediately he stepped out of the boat and he began to walk on water. See, some of us are still in the boat because we procrastinated. God has already spoken to us, but we still waiting on whatever. We still making excuses as to why we have not stepped out of the boat and done whatever it is God has told us to do. But see, let me tell you what's happening here. Every time we wait, every time we procrastinate, instead of moving in what God told us to do, then we allow our old mindset to have an opportunity to creep back up and push us back into the boat. So this is why we need to learn how to move when God says move. This is why we need to learn how to take action right away. Abraham, he's the best example. When God told Abraham to get out of his country, well, he's not quite the best example, but he's a good example. When God told him to get your family and get away from your kindred and get out of the country, he didn't move right away. He didn't wait. Now, he did some other stuff God didn't tell him to do, but at least he moved right away, amen? He moved quickly, because again, if we wait, then we give place to the devil. We give place to our old mind to creep up and tell us, you really can't do that. God really didn't tell you to do that. Or what will end up happening is the other people that's in the boat, their voices will start to get louder, and you'll start hearing them. Child, you know that ain't the will of God. What you out there trying to walk on water for? You know you can't walk on water. People can't walk on water. So their voices will start getting louder the longer you wait. The longer you procrastinate. So tell yourself, say, stop procrastinating. Stop procrastinating. When God moves, we need to move. When He says A, we need to go ahead and take that step and do whatever A is. Amen? So we need to change our mind, we need to pray and seek God, and then we need to take action immediately. Now, I'm almost done. The next thing that we need to do, and it's two simple words. It's simple, but it seems like it's so difficult for people to do. But the next thing that we need to do is we need to stay focused. Yeah. In the story, Peter was walking on the water. And it lets us know that as soon as he took his eyes off Christ, he began to fall down. As soon as he broke focus, he began to go down. As soon as he took his eyes off of the prize, he began to go down. As soon as he stopped focusing on the goal, focusing on what it was God told him to do, not what he wanted to do, but what the Lord told him to do. The Lord told him to come, okay? So as soon as he stopped focusing on what the Lord told him to do, he started to go down. And some of us are still in the boat, or some of us are sinking in where we are because we have lost our focus. Amen. We are allowing everything around us and the other 11 people, however many people are in the boat, we're allowing all of that to break our focus. But I encourage you today, whatever it is God is telling you to do, whether it be in business, whether it be in ministry, whether it be in your family, whether it be something personal, whatever God is telling you to do, now is not the time to get distracted. Now is not the time to just be looking at everything that's going on with Trump and everything that's going on in the world. Now is not the time to look at all that stuff. Don't get caught up on everything that's taking place on social media. Don't get caught up in all that stuff. Now is the time for us to stay focused. Because we got a destination, people of God. We got things that we got to do. It's time, the woman of God preached a couple weeks ago, that it's time to store up. So it's money out there for us to make so that we can be in position to store up. So that we can be like Joseph back in the day. When the famine hit, the people came to the church. The people came to the people of God. Why? Because Joseph was focused. What God told Joseph to do, Joseph was focused and he did it. So he was able to be in position when it was time. Look at somebody and say, stay focused. Stay focused. See, too many of us worried about the wrong thing. And we worried about the wrong people. And I'm preaching to myself. Even though I'm preaching to y'all, I'm preaching to myself too. Because I had to change my mindset as well in order to start moving in some of the things that I'm moving in right now. But as long as I have my little mentality, I stay stuck. But as soon as I make the shift, and as soon as I begin to follow the leading of the Lord and stay focused, I've been able to do some things that I haven't been able to do, that I wanted to do. And the things that God wants us to do as well. He wants us to be prosperous. What's up with this mentality that the church has that we can't be prosperous? The devil is a liar. He said, I would above all things that you what? That ain't my gospel. That's the Bible. That's the Bible. What did it say? That you what? And what? As well as what? So the Father wants us to be prosperous. But we can't get to prosperity because we're still in the boat. Come now. We can't get there because we still got the same mindset from 10 years ago. It ain't gonna work, baby girl, baby boy. It ain't gonna work. We got to change our mind. Amen. And then we need to seek God for direction. And then when he gives us direction, we need to be obedient. I preached a message, I think it was a couple years ago. 99% obedience is still disobedience. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then for all you musicians, Hezekiah said it a long time ago. He wrote a song about it. 99 and a half ain't gonna do. So whatever God is saying to do, we just need to be obedient completely and quickly. We ain't got time to wait. It's 2017. How much more time you think we're going to have on this good, beautiful earth? Think about it. So we ain't got time to waste. We've got to stay focused. So, the conclusion of the whole matter. It is possible for us to get out the boat and walk on water. And what do I mean by that phrase? I mean that whatever your boat is, whatever your situation is, whatever you've been in for however long you've been in it, whatever you may be dealing with, it is possible for you to get out of that situation. It is possible for you to walk on water. When I say walk on water, I'm saying it's possible for you to do things that are beyond you. It's possible for you to do things that are beyond your level of education, beyond your level of expertise, beyond what you've known all your life. Well, this is all I know. All I know is how to do data entry, and that's all I know. Yeah, that's all you know right now. That's right. But if you change your mindset, you will put yourself in a position to know more. See the difference? See? And I'm not telling you something from motivational speeches and all of that. I'm telling you stuff from the Word, because the Word says, let me bring it back to the Bible because we in church. The Word says that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Heart, we're not talking about this organ that helps to circulate blood. That word there is talking about the mind. And to go even a step further, it's not talking about the conscious mind, it's talking about the subconscious mind. But I'm not going to go into that. We'll talk about that tonight at Women's Fellowship. But that's dealing with the subconscious mind, because it's the spirit of your mind, which is really what the subconscious is, and that's also in the Bible. It's the spirit of the mind is what controls the conscious mind. Okay? So once you renew that, then the conscious mind will follow. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he what? So, come on y'all know the Bible. As a man thinketh in his heart, so that means that whatever I'm thinking about in my mind, that's what I'm going to produce in my life. Because that's what's in my heart. That's what's in my subconscious mind. So if I'm always thinking about I can't do it, I ain't got the skills, I ain't got the time, well, guess what? You're not going to do it. You're not going to get the skills, and you're never going to find the time, because that's what you told yourself in the spirit of your mind, your subconscious mind. Okay? So back to the conclusion, and I'm sorry for giving 3 closes. That's what preachers do. But we can walk on water. We can do the impossible. We can do things that are beyond our skill set and beyond our skill level. But we've got to do what it takes to do it. So we've got to have that change in our mind. We've got to seek God and get direction. And when He gives us direction, don't sit on it for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Move out on it and just be obedient. And then watch your life begin to change. And that's how it's supposed to be. And I'm going to say this real quick, and then I'm going to be finished for real. Before the fall of man, that's how the earth worked. Adam was able to just walk and speak and call things, and whatever he put out there, the earth produced it. Okay? Now, even though that's physically not happening for us today, we still have the ability to do that with the way that we think and the way that we operate. Okay? So if we think we can do it, we can. Because the Bible says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Okay? So if you think that way, then your actions are going to follow, because that's how you're thinking. If you think that you're healed and you do what it takes to maintain your healing, you have no option but to walk in healing. All right now, amen. It's a law, it's a principle. So if you work the principle, it's going to work. If you work the word, it's going to work. That's why the Bible says walk by faith and not by sight. I'm not basing what I do off of what I see or the people around me, because all that stuff will discourage you. Even family sometimes will discourage you. Amen. Amen. And so we have to learn how to shut all that out and just walk by faith. Amen. Hear God and be obedient to God. Yeah. You can stand to your feet because I'm finished. I'm not going to say I hope something I said bless your life. I know it bless your life if you apply it. I can't do anything with the application part. I've done my job by delivering it. Now it's your job to apply it. And if you apply it, I know that it will bring forth results. Because the Bible says the word will go out and accomplish that what it was sent out to do. So the word going to do its job. Are you going to do your job? That's the question. The word's going to do its job, but are you going to do your job? Amen. Let's give God a praise for the word this morning.